We're going to talk about how to enter a name in FamilySearch. This is an Italian death record. It is for Gennaro Piscitelli. He never married. He was age 25 when he died 28 October 1867. He was born and died in Acerra. He was the son of Angelo Piscitelli and Lucia de Bono. We need to find the family he's going to be attached to, so I typed in the father's last name, the mother's first name and last name, and these were the results. And the family's the first entry. So I clicked on Angelo. This turned up. You click on person, and it takes you to the family. There are several ways to attach a name to FamilySearch. For Vincenzo and Felicia, I could add a child. This add parent is for Angelo. I could add a step parent or a biological parent. So he could have more than one set of parents over here. I could add a spouse for Angelo, or I can add a child for Angelo and Lucia. That's what we're going to do. So we click on add child. And then using the information from the death record, I filled in the blanks. Gennaro Piscitelli, male, deceased, did the math, age 25, from 1867. He was born about 1842 in Acerra, and he died 28 October 1867 in Acerra. I click next. If I knew the spouse, I would do it a little differently. For this record, I was looking at a marriage record. The name was Domenico Picardi, male, deceased. He was born about 1847 in Acerra, and he was married to Filomena Sammarco. I clicked next. And there were some suggestions that he might already be in the system. There was a Domenico Picardi married to a Filomena Sammarco, and he was born in Acerra. I rarely have enough information in these possible matches to confidently say that yes, it is a match. So I usually open it into another tab, and that's what I did. And I looked at the family. The time is right. The place is right. I believe that this is a match, and so I clicked on add match. Going back to Gennaro, this is what we ended up. We added him as a child, and then we have some research helps and hints over here. The suggestion is that he may have had children. We know he did not get married, so I clicked on dismiss. Death record says he never married. Save. Okay, back to our source. Always attach sources so that other people can find out where you got your information and come to the same conclusions. This was found on FamilySearch, so it has a little button here that you can click on to attach to the family tree. Right here is the source title, and this is what's written in there. When I come back later and look at my sources, I am not going to know what that means. So you click in this box, hold down your control key and A, that will highlight it, and then you can type in a name, a title for your source that will actually mean something to you. In my case, I typed in 1867, death of Gennaro Piscitelli, son of Angelo Piscitelli and Lucia de Bono. Next, select person. You will see a list of people that you have looked at recently. Our Gennaro is right here. You can click on him. It would appear in this ID. You click on this arrow, and then you'd be able to pick the people to attach the record to. If you don't have that person in your recents, you can go back to where he is. You click on his ID number, and his copy ID will pop up here. You just click on that, and that will go in memory, and you can go back to this enter ID and you can paste it in there and click the arrow. And then you will get a list of everybody in his family. Do not click everybody in his family. You usually only have 3 to 4 people on a document. You usually have the individual, his parents, and possibly his spouse. Always exceptions to the rule, but that's what you normally get. So in this case, I clicked on Gennaro, Angelo, and Lucia, And I clicked on next, and you can see that they're attached. The image is now attached to these people. I'm working on a project where the witnesses are helping me establish the relationships. So I would attach it to the witness as a source, but I'd explain why I have done that, because it is an exception to the rule, and people are going to look at it and say, why would you do that? And I want the answer to be right there where they can see it, so that they too can come to the same conclusions I've come to. So back to Gennaro, we now have some hints. You'll have to go through them individually. Some you'll know right away, yes, that's my person. Some you'll know right away, no, that's not my person. Follow the directions to either accept or reject them. Others of them, you're just not going to have enough information at this point, and you'll just have to ignore it. Okay, here's the source that we've attached. It's right here. But let's say we know when he was born because our grandmother told us that. Add a new source. And then we start filling in the blanks. Source title. Mildred, my grandmother, Mildred Smith, told me Gennaro's birth date on August 4th, 2000, and she knew him. They were neighbors for years. Or whatever works for you. There's no web page or URL for this. You can describe the record more here if you want. Check off name, sex, birth. Automatically adds the source to your source box. I usually uncheck this because I don't use the source box. That may be a mistake on my part. I just don't do it. And then you would save it. And that's the end for this video. I'm working on 2 more. One, I will talk about name variations and how to enter those in, and also how to attach a totally unrelated individual. Thanks for tuning in.